It's very nice to be thought of as being pretty, as being, it's a plus. It's nice. It's not terribly important, but it is nice to have it in your favor.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate your time. I wanted to come on here and kind of use this whole situation with MissNikkiiBaby and her baby daddy and the Well and Out model to kind of talk about this topic of women who are proud side chicks and mistresses. And I wanted to also kind of speak about why typically around February, it seems like this is the time where if women are willing side chicks, that they act out, or if there are women who are side chicks and don't know it, they typically find out. And I believe it typically happens around February because it's around the holiday of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day seems to be a trigger for these type of relationships to fall apart, these types of situationships to fall apart. So I'm going to be playing a clip and then coming back with the rest of my commentary.
Now moving on, I want to talk about the basketball player LiAngelo Ball, who goes by the name Jello now. Whoa. He done cheated on his baby mama, Miss Nikki, which is really sad because they had a whole family together. She just had a baby with him. But now that he got a little hit song and he's no longer in his brother's shadow, he now wants to act like Future and get other women pregnant. Miss Nikki went on Instagram and said, "I see everyone has been sending me Jello cheating on me. I want to clear this up and speak my truth. I am just as surprised as you are. We spent 3.5 years together, and last week he decided to walk out on his kids and I and tell me he got someone else pregnant allegedly, and now is creating a new life with her. We were just happy and planning family photos. I am beyond blindsided by this whole thing. The ultimate betrayal is not even the word. My daughter is not even 2 months old yet, and dealing with this and postpartum is very hard. Please pray for me and my healing because I'll get through this. I have to be strong for my kids, but I have absolutely no words. Karma is real and God don't like ugly. I hope it was worth losing his family." She also addressed his side chick, saying, "The same way you get him is how you lose him. Thinking you winning by getting pregnant with a man who has a newborn is crazy work." Also, in terms of age, to clarify, the girl he left his family for is older than me. I'm not with my kids. The only person who not with them is they daddy. B, you wanted attention, you got it. You could keep them. FYI, he told me on a text she's pregnant. Coward, pathetic-ish. My issues about my family and my children are with my baby daddy. I'm not addressing no side B. Well, it did sound like she was addressing the side chick, and the side chick is named Rashida Nicole. She did respond by posting on the gram, and she was kind of flaunting the fact that she was with Jello. And she also responded to what Nikki said. She said, "I have receipts. You better lay low. This ain't what you want."
I wasn't even going to address this, but I'm tired of people playing victim on the internet. One, people move on, things change. Yes, it may not be updated or addressed to the internet because it's not for y'all. People have private lives. We have real lives out here. You don't know what's going on. So everybody coming for me and trying to slut shame me and woman shame me, and I'm so sick of that narrative. Like, y'all so quick to blame the woman. Y'all don't know what's going on. People love to play victim for the internet. Half the time, that lady don't even have her kids. Let's be clear. There is no abandonment over here. Number two, the lady and her family are racist. I don't care what anybody says. She always got the N-word in her mouth. You are not black at all. No, surprise. Stop posting about me. Stop trying to throw shade. Like, just leave me alone. You claim you happy, you wanted to meet me.
Now, Miss Nikki responded under the Gossip of the City's post and said, "Playing victim? I am the victim. You just broke a home and you happy about it? Are you okay? You knew he was in a whole relationship. The whole world knew. You think you winning. He gonna do you the same way." I mean, what she said is true. I mean, the fact that Jello is comfortable enough to up and leave his family and start a new one with another woman, Eventually, he's going to do his side chick the same way. But Rashida doesn't seem to care because she posted another picture of her and Jello at dinner. And Jello posted a picture of them together too. So I guess this is their way of trying to rub it in Nikki's face and trying to prove to people they're locked in. But this is not really a flex. It's just not. And I'm not even trying to take up for Miss Nikki like that, because if it's true that she and her family are racist, I don't really have sympathy to give her. But I guess as a woman who just had a child and is building a family with somebody, it is hard to see that man just up and leave the family for another woman. But Jello is feeling himself, obviously, and he definitely has been lying to Nikki. I think he and Rashida have been fooling around for quite some time now. Nikki is just now finding out about it, but he been had Rashida in his back pocket. And now that he's feeling himself and he has this new attention on him, he probably wants to step out with her because he feels like she's an upgrade from Nikki.
All right, so first things first, I wanted to say this, that I believe MissNikkiiBaby in the past has been a mistress to some of the men that she dated. When she was younger, she obviously was in a different headspace, and she most likely enjoyed, you know, being on the arm of certain men, and she didn't care about if they had a wife or if they had a woman at home and children. She was enjoying herself. So I'm not gonna say for sure it's true, but based off of her time of being on Love and Hip Hop Miami, I recall seeing her dating men that she basically alluded that she was seeing them but couldn't really tell nobody. And typically, when you are in a relationship with someone of any kind and you have to keep it secret, that's typically a clue or a way where you can tell that your relationship is not normal, or it most likely is not in good standing. So if that is true, if my recollection is correct, it is very possible that it's just the universe waiting until she has a similar situation and doing something similar to her. A lot of times, I think people don't necessarily think about how whatever they do to someone else is going to come back to you. I don't think people realize that that's real, whether, you know, regardless of the religion that you follow. The law of sowing and reaping is a universal principle. So it doesn't matter how you access the universe. It's a universal principle. That's why you see it in nature when it comes to gardening and farming. And that's why you see it in real life when it comes to the actions that someone does, the treatment someone does to others. They typically will reap it later on at some point in their life. So I'm not saying I'm happy or I'm celebrating that this happened to her. I'm just explaining from a grown perspective that potentially what you do to another person, please be aware that later on in life, most likely when it's the most inconvenient, most likely when you are the most happy, when you're least expecting it, the things that you did to this person will reflect in your life. I also wanted to mention that the reason why I think nowadays there is such, I don't know, like vigor or so many young ladies who are proud to be side chicks is because I think, just like with everything else in our society, shame is no longer really a thing. And while shame has the potential to be stunning and potential to be negative in terms of how it affects us and stops us from being who we are and pursuing the things that we really do want to do, the flip side of that is shame has the ability to keep us in line. And what I mean by keep us in line is it stops us from doing certain things to humiliate ourselves and others. And when you don't have shame anymore, you have people who are walking around in society who ultimately don't feel accountable to anything or anyone. They feel they can do whatever they want. They feel they can hurt whoever they want. They feel they can make any poor decision. And whatever the outcome, whether it's good or bad, they will choose to be delusional about it. And that's what the situation is a lot of times when we're having this conversation about side chicks and being a mistress, is you have women who are choosing to be delusional about their situation, right? So they're choosing to only look at the positives that they receive from the man at the time, whatever or however long that he's willing to deal with them, that he's willing to go to them for sex or whatever they're being given in exchange for their bodies. They choose to look at that as the main positive, and they're not paying attention to all the other aspects that obviously make their relationship a poor decision or inappropriate. And I'm talking about specifically women who know they're side chicks. If you don't know that you are a man's side chick, I don't know how you would not know for years and years and years, or months and months and months. It depends on, how the length of the relationship. But it happens. But for those women who know, who are willing side chicks, a lot of times, like I said, they choose to be delusional. They choose to focus on what they're getting and be accepting of that within the moment. And they have to, because that's the way that they escape accountability. That's the way they escape feeling guilty. That's the way that they escape coming to terms with the fact that they are subjecting themselves to this. That they are saying, hey, this is what I deserve. I deserve to be a man's secret. I deserve to be, restricted to certain types of outings, and I could only see him at this time. I could only call him at this time. I can't be out in public with him in any areas or cities that he shares with his family or friends or people who know him. I have to be a secret. And if ultimately you're okay with that, that's like a whole different level of cognitive dissonance, because like I said, if you tend to look at this from a situation where I'm not going to utilize any of my moralistic sense, I'm not going to apply morals, I'm not going to look at this from the true manner in which I should. I'm going to, again, be delusional. I'm going to ignore that. Whether or not you ignore what you're doing is bad, it doesn't change that it is bad. It doesn't change that you, again, like I said earlier, you're going to reap this. You're going to have this come back on you at some point in time. And sometimes it comes back sooner than you think, because side chicks oftentimes get hurt. Sometimes they're murdered. Sometimes they spend years, dedicating themselves, and months, dedicating themselves to a man, thinking that he's going to leave the wife or he's going to leave his partner. So they remain faithful and dedicated to him. And typically what happens is he doesn't. And then you're just left by yourself. And you may have trinkets and gifts and things that he gave you in the past, or experiences, but you're typically left by yourself. And the other aspect that I wanted to quickly mention before I go is, I find it so strange how online, in a lot of these spaces, whether it's in groups or things like that, or in comment sections, you'll see women saying things like, oh, I'm a girl's girl, I'm a girl's girl. You'll see women who are proudly saying that they are here for the girls, women for women, right? They'll say that, and then the next minute, whenever there's a discussion about being a mistress or a side chick, the first thing you'll hear the same women say is, oh, well, I'm not the one that's committed. I don't have the commitment. It's not on me. He's the one that's married, or he's the one that's in a relationship. Why is that? Why is there, again, this cognitive dissonance, this delusion that somehow allows women to believe that they're girls, but then they can be a willing participant in a man cheating and hurting another woman? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is, boo. Especially when you start talking about marriage and a man who has children. What do you think you're doing to that woman and those children? Possibly if that man has a daughter. So this is what I mean when a lot of times I will say that I know a woman has willingly been a side chick, like she has participated willingly, knowingly been a side chick, I would never want to be her friend. Never. I would never want to be a friend because I know what you get into. I know that you are ultimately really selfish. Yeah. And you don't care how you affect other people as long as you're getting what you want, as long as you're getting your bottom line. You're perfectly fine doing things that will harm others. But a lot of times, like I said, women will separate the two. They'll act like they're different. They act like they have nothing to do with each other. Because, like I said, it's easier to participate in these delusions. And to be quite honest, what I have realized about many women's relationships with each other, their friendships, is a lot of our friendships are based off of delusions and big and little lies. A lot of women are friends with each other not because their bond is strong, not because there's trust and loyalty and camaraderie and like shared interest, shared triumphs, shared moments of support and love. No. Many female friendships are based off of you hold my secrets, I hold your secrets. I tell you lies and you tell me lies. You tell me I look good, I tell you you look good. I tell you, oh, this man is good for you, you tell me, or I tell you this man was too good for you, or you too good for him. Like, a lot of female friendships are not healthy. I know in my life I've had plenty of experiences where I was forced to recognize that a young lady I was friends with was not someone who had the character that I really wanted to have as a friend. And then I had to find a way to dissolve that friendship. And in a few of those cases, it was with women who were open with me about the fact that they were dating a married man or talking to a married man. And it's so crazy because before I got married, and I remember being a single woman, I remember being hit on by married men. I remember being pursued by men that had girlfriends. It happens because men are not good people either sometimes. Having poor character is not restricted to gender. It's about who the person is and typically a lot of times what's acceptable in society at the moment. The morale of society at the moment, whether it's at an all-time low the way it is now or if it's a bit higher the way it was in the past. But I've never, as a woman, accepted anything from a man that I knew that was married or that I knew had a girlfriend because I deserve better than that, right? I deserve to be with a man that can fully be with me, that can commit to me because he's not sharing his commitment with another woman, that can spend all his time, attention, money, resources, protection, provision, love on me, with me. That's what I'm worthy of. Aside from thinking about, okay, how this is going to affect me later, it's going to come back on me later. Aside from, okay, I'm supposed to be a girl's girl, I'm supposed to be women empowerment, aside from all that, even if you take the selfish route, right? Why would you want to subject yourself, like I said, to lesser? Why? Why would you think that that's acceptable for you? And maybe it's just me, because I've never liked the streets. I've never liked being out and unprotected and unloved. I don't have that perspective. I am the type of woman where I need to be somebody's baby. I need to be somebody's love. I need to be somebody's boo. I need to be attached to a man that loves me and protects me. And I need, like, to be his only. I will be his only. That's the only option I've ever given myself and my partners. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not going to be no man's secret. But maybe, that's just me. But yes, that's what I have to say on this topic. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for listening. Take care. Bye.